what's my advice to you? If you're in B1, learn. Hello there, beautiful people. Thank you for clicking in. My name is Mary Ann Mwangi, and today, just as promised, I'm going to be giving you tips on how you can speak German very, very fast. I recently did a video speaking in German here. I'll also attach it towards the end of the video. And I spoke in German, and a few people came up to me asking me how did I end up learning German very, very fast. Whether in A1 level, B1, A2, B1 or B2, maybe also C1, I'm going to be giving you specific tips for specific levels, what you're supposed to be doing at what level, so you can be able to speak German very, very fast. If you're interested in this type of video, please show me that like, and also subscribe to my channel. And a quick appreciation, oh my god, you guys, I've been gaining subscribers every day, and to a small YouTuber that means a lot. I appreciate you so much. We're on the journey to 1,000 subscribers, and I am so excited, seriously, because we're so close, and I thank you guys so much. And before this gets so long, let's jump right into the content or today's video. So pop. So are you wondering what to do to be able to speak the German language? Have you been reading, listening, and doing everything you think it takes to be able to speak German but cannot be able to speak? This is a video for you. So let's go. Are you in A1 level and you're wondering what exactly should I be doing in A1 to be able to finally speak this language? My tip to you, if you're in A1 level, go ahead and learn phrases. By phrases I mean learn Entschuldigung, es tut mir leid, ich möchte bitte, ich heiße. Go ahead and learn the phrases. At this point, it's not really your responsibility. I mean, of course it's your responsibility, but it shouldn't be your main goal to actually get the grammar and everything that pertains to it. The most important thing you're supposed to be doing in A1 is to open your mouth and build the confidence to actually say the phrases that you're very sure you know what they mean. Teach yourself how to apologize in German. Teach yourself how to speak, how to introduce yourself. In as much as you're going to be making mistakes, especially pronunciation mistakes, I want you to know that the moment you start to open your mouth is when you actually start to speak German. I know that sounds completely obvious, but if you're in A1 level, you might want to ask people in B1 if they're actually able to speak, and they will tell you no, they understand a lot of German, but they cannot be able to speak it. And the trick is, when you're starting to learn German, if you're in A1 level, open your mouth, and whatever you want to say phrases. It doesn't matter if you're going to be cramming these phrases, or if you're going to be listening to someone and repeating what they said. Open your mouth and repeat the small and the easy phrases that you can learn in A1. And that's the hugest thing that happened to me. I had done, I think, a week of German in high school, and then 4 years later I decided to do German, and I found that the few 3-4 words that I learned, the first ones as the very first German words, I retained them for 4 years even without practicing. And why? This is because the excitement you get when you start to open your mouth speaking a foreign language actually prepares your memory to actually grasp. And that's what happened to me. So I started to speak German in A1. Even when I didn't know what I was saying, I was just, ich möchte bitte das, kann ich bitte das haben, es tut mir leid, Entschuldigung, guten Morgen, guten Tag. And those are the things you want to fill your mind with. Even if you're calling your grandma, just a guten Morgen, Oma. Yeah, those are the little things you want to learn and to make sure you grasp completely in your A1 level. So done with the A1 level, let's go down to A2 level. So are you in A2 level and you're wondering, oh, what should I be doing? So if you did what I did in A1 and you opened your mouth, in A2 you're going to find that it is difficult to speak. It is so difficult. I'm going to tell you why. Because in A2 you start to work on sentence structure. You start to involve yourself in adjective endungen, a lot of grammar that is difficult for your mind to process so quickly. the moment you get the thought, you process it to speak it, it takes a long time, and most times you make mistakes in your speaking. And what happens? You actually end up not speaking. And it's allowed, it's okay, that's the natural way of learning a foreign language. But what tip am I giving you today? If you're in A2 level, I will advise you listen to German conversations. I don't care what you're going to be watching. Listen to German music, watch German movies. Make sure you're constantly listening to German. Why? Because the basic statements you learned in A1 that you crammed and that you can be able to speak with or without thinking about it, you will hear them in these films, you will relate to them, and that will give you more confidence to actually say these statements the way you heard them in the content that you're listening to. I know this sounds probably sort of complex, but it's important for you to listen to a lot of German when you're in A2. Why? Again, in A2, you're starting to come across vocabulary, a little bit of difficult words, and you can only know these words when you're listening to them. And the hugest challenge we have as people trying to learn the German language is we learn these languages away from German people, or without people to practice the German language. And this is where the listening part plays a huge role. So if you're in A2, focus on listening. Movies, music, anything, podcasts, anything you can find, any material you can find to listen to. Listen to it if you're in A2 level. So aside from A2 level, you're now in B1 level. It's an intermediate level. If by the time you're done with B1 level, you're actually supposed to be able to converse in German language and to understand a lot of German, seriously. And in B1 level, you're wondering, oh my god, I think I've been doing this language for like 9 months and I still cannot be able to speak. So if you use the method I told you, you started to speak in A1, you started to listen in A2. By the time you're in B1, the problem you have is you know too many words. In A1, you didn't have the problem. So what you learned is what you said. But by B1, you have synonyms, you have different ways to say sentences, and this starts to confuse your mind. You don't know what to say, when to say it, simply because you know a lot more than you did before. So what's my advice to you? If you're in B1, learn verbs. Learn the verbs. Everything that has different meanings. For example, German is a very different language, if I may call it. It has more verbs than nouns. Why? Simply because most nouns are compound nouns. They're made of a combination of two nouns. For example, I don't know, Tischdecke, Fernseher, and every other. They don't come so quickly when you need them, but is made of so many more verbs than nouns. And the thing is, you want to pay attention to learning verbs, because verbs that are the same, one simple verb can have 3 ways of expressing it. For example, to do, the verb to do in English. In German, you can say machen, you can say erledigen, you can say tun, or any other verb that you want to be using. So at B1 level, I want you to focus on knowing more words. You want to know more words. Apart from this, since at this point you're also a bit on a higher level, you want to know more words, and you equally want to listen more. And by the time you're coming to the end of your course, you'll realize that you can hear German, which is a huge part of learning German language, especially in terms of accents. If you're being taught by someone who's not a native speaker of German, it's important for you to listen to conversations where native German speakers are speaking the language. So if you listen to more German and you know more words, you find that you understand more, and that eventually gives you some sort of confidence to open your mouth. And again, remember to start opening your mouth all the way from A1. And if you're in B2, focus on filling your head with words, because when you have more words, you can write better. Seriously, as much as you think you cannot, if you try, you'll find that you can write so much better. And even if it doesn't come as quickly as it does, even if it doesn't come as quickly as you want it to be when you're speaking, it's very important for you to know that you can understand a lot, because you have a lot of words, a lot of vocabulary in your head, and that's the most convenient way to learn and to speak a German language, or rather any other foreign language. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say from A1, A2, and B1. So now you're in B2 level, and everyone expects that you can speak, and you cannot speak at this point. My advice to you is write. If you're in B2 level and cannot speak, write. Write everything, write every conversation, write down stories, write down anything. Because the more you take time to articulate the vocabulary and the grammar where it's supposed to be in your mind to write it, the closer you get to speaking it exactly the way you're writing it. And why am I saying this? Because you're less likely to make a mistake in your writing than when you're speaking. And if you start to speak what you can write, you're actually more and more closer to being able to speak the language fluently. Seriously, that's how I ended up learning German very, very fast, and that's the most convenient method I might be could be able to give to you. If you have other methods or you have other ways that you think people and every other person could adopt, make sure you post it down for me here on the comment section so that every other person who engages in this video finds a way to learn German really, really fast. I didn't go ahead and talk about C1 and C2 level because those are actually almost professional levels, but if you're also above B2 level and still cannot speak German language, make sure you write as often as you can. Practice it in your head, practice it in a mirror, and you'll eventually find that the things that you're actually very sure about at the back of your mind will eventually come out of your mouth, which is very, very important when it comes to your journey to learning and being able to speak the German language. So I appreciate so much that you guys got this far to this video, and I wish you all the best in your journey to learning how to speak German. If you wish to listen to me speaking in German, I will attach that video to the end of this video, and make sure you enjoy. Have a blessed 2021 and bye.